All right, what's up, guys? Holy shit, look at this. Look at this right here. What the fuck's going on? Wow, crazy. You see all around me, I got red lights. Got red lights. Haven't been red in my office for a long time. But this is the first day that I'm bringing out the red lights. Why? Well, it's not because we're in a bear market, but it's definitely because it's you know, we're getting close. We're definitely on the edge of you know, definitely breaking down here. But I mean, guys, look at this. God damn it. This is pretty awful. Anyway, let's do this. So in today's live is actually sponsored by crypto.com. You probably already know all about them. You've seen the CRO token pumping like crazy. So crypto.com is actually the only single exchange that allows you to trade over 200 pairs with up to 10x leverage, and you have over 40 quarterly futures and perpetual contracts. And one very cool thing about the exchange is that you're able to get up to 50% discount on newly listed tokens, and you'll get daily rewards for just being a member on the platform. And if you use the link in the description below, you can get a $50 bonus in CRO. They will actually give you 50 bucks in CRO if you sign up using that link. So, you know, win-win, especially looking at the CRO chart. You know, obviously if we're in the bear market, you know, who cares? But you know, it's still pretty interesting, right? So you probably want to see the chart. You don't want to see my face. I don't know why I have this setting on right here. Let's run a quick little intro, and afterward I'm gonna explain to you why I sold why I exited the crypto market a couple of days ago. All right, let's go. All right, what's up, guys? First of all, I want to just say a huge thank you to everyone. You've been extremely friendly. Got some great feedback from you guys on all the videos I'm posting and all the live streams I'm doing and on Twitter and everything. So just a huge thank you to everyone. This community is definitely just full of, you know, full of people who want to learn, and it's a very welcomed and loving atmosphere we got here. Of course, now that we're getting this type of price action, we got to see a lot of trolls coming out, and a lot of you know, bears are waking up from their hibernation. So get ready for that, guys. Like you see on Twitter and everything, you're gonna see a lot of negativity, right? And Burb is obviously right now. Yeah, no, this is just the life of a crypto trader. You know what I mean? Like you, one day you want to hire a maid to do some cleaning, and the next day it's, yeah, you're gonna find a job. You know. Birb is not coming today. Birb is studying for his CMT3. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, but yeah, Birb has not exited the market. I'm talking about my experience here, and me as a trader. And let me tell you something very important here, right? And let me tell you a story about two traders, you know, where you have one trader who's a short-term trader like I am, and then you have another trader who's a long-term investor like Birb is, right? So when you're a long-term investor, you're okay with dips like this one, you know, no problem, because you're looking at the bigger picture, right? But I'm a short-term trader. I'm you know, looking for quick in and outs of the market, right? So when I'm holding, like when we say, maybe you look at Adrian Birb, who's like a long-term investor, when he's talking about potential targets and stop losses and stuff like that, he might be thinking in terms of months, right? Months. Well, I'm talking about in terms of max weeks. I'm talking about days and weeks, right? So when I'm, you know, the reason why I the reason why I got out of the market, obviously we were seeing a massive risk of development in global markets, right? Not only crypto. It's not like, you know, I'm seeing a lot of people talking about FUD in in the crypto market, right? Like the COVID FUD dumps Bitcoin. It's no, it's not like that. Look at the legacy markets. Come on, guys, look at the legacy markets. I'm going to be talking about the bullish scenario as well, but you look at the legacy markets, and obviously this dump on the S&P 500, it kind of rippled. I'm not saying that the S&P 500 dump rippled, but the COVID fears that kind of triggered a massive sell-off, what market-wide, not only crypto. All right, so you can't just say this is FUD for Bitcoin. All right, it's not about that. It's we're entering most likely a risk-off environment for the global markets, right? So you look at the S&P 500 right here. It closed obviously rather bearishly yesterday. Yes, yesterday because it's Saturday. And you see right here you have the daily. I believe this is the daily. Where they have? Yeah, so you have the daily. Let's remove the EMA because I'm looking at the simple right here. So this blue line right here is the daily 100 simple moving average, right? And on major dips on the S&P, you do hit this general area right now that we are hitting right now. Now, if we do develop, and you might be asking, why am I watching the S&P 500, right? When this is a Bitcoin stream, because it's all connected. It's all connected, right? If you're new in this market, don't think that Bitcoin is going to pump while the rest of the world is in a bear market. That's not how it works. I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. Bitcoin is not ready to be a hedge against the traditional markets. We have seen that over and over again. That's most likely not going to happen. Maybe on the grand scheme of things, if you're looking at a decade, right? But not at this point. It's not going to happen, obviously, as you've seen, right? So if we do see some, major daily market structure below the 100 simple moving average on the S&P 500, we are definitely in a very obvious risk-off environment right here, and that will translate over to Bitcoin. Now, because of the fact that we had such a major dip on Bitcoin right here, I do think that we are going to see some type of bounce here. But as you can see right here, we did lose the, let's see which one this is right here. We did lose the 100 simple moving average here on Bitcoin, confluent with the weekly 20 EMA, and we just broke straight down through this ascending trend line right here, confluent with the reload zone. This is the scenario that I've been talking about, this scenario right here since creating this chart the first time in the Burbness. So the first Bitcoin report I did when I used this chart right here was on the November the 18th, right? And we had this yellow scenario on the chart all the time, and I've constantly said, guys, you have to be careful here. You have to be careful because even a dump down to the 50K region would still be bullish for Bitcoin. All right, we would still be in a bullish market structure on Bitcoin if we hit this area, right? Now, technically, if this is the low, this is actually higher than this low. So technically, it's a still a bullish market structure, even though that this dump it looks terrible. But what I'm saying is, and what I've been saying for a very long time here, if we do start to see daily market structure forming in a bullish and a bearish manner below 50K, I have a very hard time seeing Bitcoin pumping in the near future. All right, I have a very hard time seeing Bitcoin pumping in the near future. And guys, I know a lot of you are new, right? I've been in this market since 2017. I've seen the tops and the bottoms. And for me, Bitcoin is only one of the many assets that I'm trading. All right. So when I'm looking at Bitcoin, it's the same as I'm looking at Euro USD, or I'm looking at a stock, or I'm looking at gold or silver or oil. Like, I don't really care about the assets. Well, of course, I care about Bitcoin and the technology behind it and blockchain. That's awesome. But I don't really care if Bitcoin is bullish or bearish, right? And not a lot of people here are tuning into the stream to kind of get some bullish hopium, or if you're bearish, some bearish hopium. I don't know. But just to be clear here, like, I'm not going to give you that. I don't really care if Bitcoin is bullish or bearish. I'm just going to give you what I believe is happening in the markets right now, right? According to price action. Now, I know a lot of you will be posting a lot of mad comments and become very salty because I'm saying that the bull market might actually be over, and I'm going to give you a couple of different scenarios for what I think will happen. But understand that if you decided to buy Bitcoin because you thought it was going to 200K in the next coming months and you didn't really calculate the risk to the downside, you only saw upside potential, you got to understand that at some point you have to understand that markets do whatever they want. They don't really care about you. They don't really care about what you think. They don't really care about where you want to sell. Markets will do whatever they want, and your job as a trader is to listen. Listen to what the market is going to tell you and observe and act accordingly to what the market is doing, not act accordingly to what you think is going to happen. That's a huge difference. Look at this. Please get the bullish bias out of your head and the bearish bias out of your head and look at the chart. Please just look at the chart. Look at this daily candle and understand that this right here is obviously not a bullish candle. All right. This doesn't mean Bitcoin is going to 200K. I've been seeing some weird comments on Twitter saying like, "Oh, this is a good dump. This is a bullish dumping." Guys, fuck's sake, you know, this is not good for Bitcoin. Like I know you look at the fear and greed index, it's at very much in the fear territory, and yes, we might see a pump here, and I think it's very likely that we do see a pump here. But what happens when we start to reclaim the weekly 20 EMA? Now that is the important area. That is the important area. If Bitcoin is truly bullish right here, we need to start forming a proper bottom here, and not only around the bottom, we need to start reclaiming lost support, and this is the most crucial area right here, the weekly 20 EMA confluent with the area around, so I'm just going to say the area around, let's say 53K and 55K, right? If we can comfortably create some type of round the bottom inside this long LC, we still have a higher low, still technically in an uptrend, right? And if we then reclaim this area right here, well, then yes, I do believe that we're still in a bull market. But what happens if we form daily market structure in this area and then start moving lower? Well, I do think that we're definitely in the bear market. Well, I definitely think we're in the bear market. And you now see the 20 EMA crossing below the 50 EMA right up here. We have a very clear daily bearish market structure. And guys, you have to be open for that possibility that we can really start a bear market here, right? And if that coincides with the S&P 500 losing the 100 simple moving average and then creating a bearish market structure, like a couple of open and closes on the daily below this area, then yes, I do think that the global markets are entering a risk of environment. We're going to see investor panic. We're going to see investor exiting their positions in the stock market. And it's not like Bitcoin is all of a sudden just going to be like, oh, all right, everyone's panicking in the rest of the world and rest of the market. Everyone's selling off their assets, and we're now in the risk off environment. Well, Bitcoin, now everyone all of a sudden wants to buy Bitcoin. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. All right. All right. Now, I'm not. All right. So comments like this one, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. I'm neither bearish or bullish, right? I'm neither bearish or bullish, but let me show you something. Let me show you something right here. All right. So we have this tweet right here. All right. So this is what not having a bias looks like. This is what risk management looks like. So I'm posting this tweet right here. It says BTC looks like shit. We're in a risk off environment here, and I have a hard time seeing a significant pump this month. I'm all out of most of my spot holdings, and this is simply risk management. Look at this. This was posted right here. All right, right here. This is when I exited. Now, let me explain to you why I exited here. And also comments like this one is why I believe that we haven't hit the bottom. All right. Why we possibly maybe haven't hit the bottom? Because the bottom will come when you guys agree with me. All right? When everyone's saying this guy might be a little bit too bullish, but when I'm just being real and everyone's saying, oh, you're too bearish, well, you know, guys, maybe we have some more downside potential. Because when you guys flip and you say, oh, you're too bullish here, we're in a bearish market structure, and you know, that's when you got to think. That's when you got to think. I'm just being realistic, guys. I can almost guarantee you that people who are telling me right now that I'm too bearish, how long have you been in the markets? Have you been in the market for 5 years or 4 years like I have? Or have you been in the market for 2 months? Think about it. The markets is just the game of psychology. It's just the market psychology, all right? All right, so remember that, right? Now let me tell you why I exited here. Same reason, by the way, guys. I'm not going to be an asshole and look up that tweet, but it's the same reason why I exited here prior to the dump, right? And it's all about capital preservation and risk management, right? It's all about capital preservation and risk management. So you go to this short right here, right? So you go to this short right here, and what happened was we're in this 4-hour channel, right? We're in this 4-hour channel right here. We're in a bearish market structure, a very clear bearish market structure on the local time frames, right? The daily chart, we've broken the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA to the downside. We're in a bearish market structure on the 4-hour, and we can't seem to get above this trend line right here while hitting the daily 20 and 50 EMA as resistance, right? For me, this is an obvious short trade, but I'm not going to short this because I'm not going to short this because I'm bullish on Bitcoin long term. So it makes no sense to short when Bitcoin was still on a major uptrend. But the local trend looked quite bearish. So in that case, it kind of makes sense to de-risk, because, you know, selling spot assets, it's pretty much the same as shorting, because you're removing exposure to the asset, and you're not going to lose money if it moves to the downside. So it's almost the same as shorting, but you're not actually betting on more downside potential. You just want to protect your capital. So what happened here was we had the fears of COVID, which I believe happened on the 26th. So around here, I believe this was the this was when you had the new COVID variant in South Africa, right? Now, I think that is I don't think that new variant is much. It's very interesting. I think that it's a non-event. I don't think really that's going to move the markets, but something happened, right? Something definitely happened that sparked something in global markets, because we were starting to see, we were starting to see some real. Risk off sentiment coming into the market, right? So I just thought, well, you know what? If we can't manage to get above the daily 20 and 50 EMA, chances are pretty high that we're going to hit the 50K region, right? Or at least first the because you can understand, like, what happened first. We actually hit that level, right? We actually hit that daily 100 simple moving average and the weekly 20 EMA. We've already hit that, right? We already hit that right here, right? We already hit that. So when we look at the daily, the next test would be the second retest of that level. And I don't want to be buying the second retest of a level when it's a downtrend, because chances are that it's going to break down and create a lower low. So when you had that perfect rejection right there of a significant level confluent with a daily 20 and a 50 EMA, while the rest of the market is starting to enter a risk-off environment, I told myself that, you know what, I would rather exit here in case this level won't hold, all right? And it didn't hold, and we just went straight down. Now, usually when Bitcoin has dumps like this one, we will most likely have a heavy pump. Will most likely bounce somewhere in this area right now, and if we doesn't, well, God save us all, I guess. If we can't bounce in this area right now, and it's going to be very ugly. It's going to be very ugly. It's very important to see how the weekend price action develops here, and it's very important to see how the S&P 500 and the indices market will or the equities market open on Monday, right? It's very important to see how that all plays out. If we are continuing to develop a risk off environment in the traditional markets, Bitcoin will dump, but it's not going to be beautiful. So if you are heavy in the markets, if you are very heavy in the markets and you're really feeling the stress and the fear and the panic, it's okay to de-risk, guys. I'm telling you, it's okay to de-risk. You don't have to hold. You don't have to hold on to your position just because you can, or just because you believe in Bitcoin. That's bullshit. Like, don't marry your bags, right? Don't marry your bags. So I'm not saying, sell here, because you're most likely going to sell the bottom. But if we have a pump up to this level right here, and you're maybe closer to break even, that's when you might be able to de-risk, so that if we dump further down, you're not going to panic, because you have calculated the risk and you're okay with what's going to happen, right? Now, what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm not in crypto right now. All I'm interested in looking for short scalp calls and whatever. And at this point, I'm more interested in the forex market, right? So I'm not really into in Bitcoin or I have some Bitcoin holdings, but that's it can dump quite heavily before I get worried about that one. But what am I looking for to really get back in? What am I looking for to get back in? Well, we are in the local reload zone, right? So that's great. First thing I want to see is some type of rounded bottom on the daily, or at least the 4-hour. I want to see a bullish market structure on the 4-hour. Basically, I want this to repeat right here, and I want us to reclaim the weekly 20 EMA. I want to see a bullish market structure above the 53K area, around this area right here. So I'd like to see something like this, right? And I'm okay with entering here. I'm okay with entering here. Now, if we stop moving lower, fuck it, I'm out. I'm out again, But I'm okay with missing out on a 10% move, right? I'm okay. I'm missing out on a 10% move. All right, just a simple question. Why are you so bearish? It feels like sometimes it feels like I'm talking to a wall when I'm trying to explain this. I'm neither bearish or bullish, right? I'm neither bearish or bullish. I'm protecting my capital, and I obviously did the right thing, because I went out of right before here, right? So it's not about being bearish or bullish. It's about, you look at the price action and like, oh, this looks like it might dump. Well, I might de-risk here, right? Might de-risk here. There's a lot of fucking salt in the chat. I'm sorry, guys, but it's like you please, if you really need to calculate your risk before you enter a position. I do understand that a lot of people are deep into the market and are losing money right now. All right, so I've lost everything in 2017. I invested a lot of money in 17, and I really was balls deep into the whole Bitcoin idea of a new financial revolution, and this is the new new world of finance and all that, blah blah blah. And I just basically married the bag, right? And we had the top in 17. We had the top in 17, and I didn't sell because I was bullish, and I really hated everyone else for being bearish. And I'm like, why are we bearish at this point, dude? Like, we're gonna go to 100 million trillions, and obviously we had I think 2 or 3 year bear market after that, right? So if you're mad at me for just giving you the simple truth here about what price action is actually doing right now, please understand that is your emotion talking, and that is your bullish bias talking, and you're talking and you're thinking in that way probably because you're hurting, you're losing money, and this is a real problem, guys. You have to really get a grip of yourself and really understand what the fuck's happening right now. You're losing money because you probably made some mistakes. You have to go back and check, like, what type of mistakes did I did, or was that actually a mistake, or was that just my system failing like it always does at a certain percentage, right? So you have to really think about this, like, what happened, why didn't you sell, why you're still in, and if you are still in, how much money are you in with, and how much money are you down with? Did you calculate the risk? Because next time, there will be a next time. There will be a next time. If this is the end of the bull market, there will be a new bull market. We don't know if it's gonna happen in 6 months or 3 years, but there will be a new bull market, and you don't want to make the same mistake you did this time, right? So when I failed to sell the top in 17 and lost everything, I promised myself that next time, well, there's not going to be a next time. I'm not going to do that next time. So what I did was I calculated a very simple strategy that told me that on this run right here, as soon as Bitcoin loses the 50 EMA in the daily, I'm out. No strings attached. I'm out completely. I'm out when we lose the daily 50 EMA, and that is why I sold here. Now, on this run up, I decided that I'm going to get out when we lose the weekly 20 EMA, and that is right here. Obviously, I adjusted that a little bit, and I saw an opportunity to get out on a bearish rejection of the 50 EMA on a daily once again. What I'm saying is very, very simple plan, very, very simple rules can help you mitigate risk a lot and can help you exit the market prior to the dump. All right? I think this is the problem here is that you're used to, and you might actually have entered the crypto market because you're used to seeing only bullish hopium. You're on Twitter and you're on Twitter and you're on YouTube, and you're seeing channels where people maybe aren't like me when I'm just giving you the raw data of price action. I don't really care about anything else. I'm just telling you we're in the bearish market structure to sell. You know what I mean? But you might be very influenced by people, and I'm saying influenced because a lot of people on here is not traders, they're influencers, and you might be influenced by bullish hopium who had, you know, people just screaming buy at the top. All right, it's important to remember that we have to make a difference between actual traders and people who are influencing you as influencers. That's very, very, very important to understand. And then you have to look at the middle line between these two, and then you make a decision. You do your own research, you listen to both sides, and then you make a decision, right? And obviously, I know a lot of people who are new in this market are way too focused on what everyone's saying about the bullish case of Bitcoin. You have to look at both sides, and that is what creates a trader, right? So let's start with a completely clean chart here of Bitcoin, right? So let's look at a completely clean chart here. Go to load up a new one right here. So I want to look at what I think about Birb. Well, Birb is probably one of the best traders I know, right? He has called the tops and the bottoms like I mean, I don't know how, but he's phenomenal at doing that. So the difference between Birb and like an influencer is Birb knows what the fuck he's talking about. He is a certified technical analyst. He's been in this game for a very long time, and he's a phenomenal trader and investor, while also being a pretty big persona in the crypto world. But he's definitely, if you ask him about anything when it comes to trading, risk management, patterns, whatever, he has an answer for that because he is very, very knowledgeable in the world of trading. If you go to another like big channel and you ask them very specific questions about TA and strategies and systems and blah blah blah, they're probably going to have a hard time, you know, answering very seriously. Right, so we have a completely clean chart here. I'll remove everything and we're going to look at what's actually going on right here. By the way, guys, the I think the dislike button is gone, so thank God for that. So hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you probably want to hit that thumbs down channel, but surprise, surprise, YouTube got you. They knew what was coming, right? So they removed it. Now we got a clean shot here of Bitcoin. Now this looks well, it looks kind of fucked here, but let's try to make the best of it. Right. So what's an uptrend? Technically, what is an uptrend? An uptrend is higher highs and higher lows. And we'll look at the daily right here, and we're going to see, like, is this an uptrend? Are we in a bullish market structure? Technically, yes. Technically, yes. But I am ready to call this a double bottom. I mean, come on, it's really, really close. It's really, really close. And when it comes to TA, you have to have some discretion, right? You can't just be like, well, the rules is the rules, and this is not, like, you know, get out of here. It's not really like that, because you can see here, if you draw a support level between that high and this low, well, look at this. I'd like to say that this is support. I'd like to say this is a major support area right here. And what happened was we came down and we hit this support. You could call this a higher high, but really I think it's more. I think it's more. I'd like to call this a double bottom, right? So not a double bottom, but equal lows, right? Which is basically the same thing, but equal lows in the sense that we're in a very dangerous area right here, right? Because we have an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows, and at the top you will potentially start seeing a double top, right? Right? You will potentially start to see a double top. Now that could look like this or this, that doesn't really matter, right? But when you see some type of, you know, momentum might be losing power here, you see a double top, and you might be seeing a range, right? And then you break down, right? You break down. Usually something like that. That's the obviously the obvious top, right? But you might also see something like this, right? We have an uptrend, and this is probably pretty much what we're seeing right now. Yes, we will most likely see a bounce. Yes. We will most likely see a bounce this weekend, and we might also see this, right? And this is what we're seeing right now. So let me try to make it as clear as the trend that we're currently seeing, right? So you have the top, higher low, a higher high, and then equal lows. And this is basically what we're seeing right now. This is basically what we're seeing right now. Now, why is this dangerous? Well, because the picture perfect uptrend is this. The picture perfect uptrend is not this. All right? And we might see something like this. If we fail to really get above this one, well, this is what we might see. And you guys probably know what pattern this is, because this is what everyone is talking about it a lot of time at Head and Shoulders, you know, whatever. But it doesn't matter what the pattern is called. It's basically a top pattern where you have equal lows, and then you break the equal lows and you're out, right? So it's very important that if this is not the start of the bear market, we need to see a bounce here, right? We need to see a bounce here. Obviously, you know, this wick is pretty crazy, so obviously we have some type of bounce, but we need to reclaim lost levels, right? We got one right here. Let's use that one, right? So first sign of strength for Bitcoin would be to first, you know, obviously not come back down here, but to form some type of bottom right here, and then reclaim this level right here. And if you then add the weekly 20 EMA, which is right here. So right here you have the weekly 20 EMA, And you can see that the weekly 20 EMA is actually right about that level, So if we can reclaim the weekly 20 EMA, I'm ready to call the continuation of the bull market and not the start of a bear market, right? But if we start to see daily market structure forming in a bearish manner below 50K, then yes, I think it's likely that we're gonna break this level on the second retest, and then yes, I think it's very likely that we are in a bear market, and it's most likely going to be a prolonged bear market, so that's going to suck. But that would also happen most likely at the same time while the S&P 500 loses the 100 simple moving average. Now, if the S&P 500 starts to reclaim lost levels, and we can look at the 4-hour right here, and we can add a level perhaps here. And if the S&P 500 starts to reclaim lost levels like this, well, then Bitcoin will most likely also reclaim the weekly 20 EMA. And that is the bullish scenarios. There's some bullish hoping for you guys, right? If we reclaim the weekly 20 EMA, I'm back in the market and I'm looking for those 100K, 200K targets again, because that would be my targets. And those targets are actually based on, let me show you. We'll look at the weekly, and we add the fib right here. You might be wondering, like, what's the 100, like, what's the 100 target based on? And it's based on the fact that we had that bounce on the 50% fib, the high time frame fib right here, and I'm looking for that move up to the minus 618, which is up here, which is around 1,000. I mean 100. 100 and what is that? 102,000. So around 100,000. Here's 100K, right? So if this is the continuation of the bull run, I'm looking for a move like this. Something like this, right? That's what I'm looking at, and that's the type of a bullish scenario that I'm watching. But if we can't reclaim the weekly 20 EMA, there's no way this is going to happen. We're not going to reach 100K like in a very long time if we can't reclaim the weekly 20 EMA, obviously, right? So that's the bullish scenario that I'm watching, and that's why I'm still got my eyes on the 100K area if we can see some bullish market structure forming right here. Now, the bearish scenario, right? And I think looking at the weekly here is quite clear. For me, anything between this area for Bitcoin, right? Anything between this level and this level, which is the area between, let's say, 50K and at this point 42K. I will not be trading Bitcoin, right? So yeah, so this range right here, if we start trading right here, this is a no trade zone for me on Bitcoin. I'm not going to be filling up on my spot bags here. I'm not going to be buying Bitcoin here or in the long-term positions right here. But I will be very, very interested, I mean, in altcoins, because I am a short-term trader, right? I guess you could call somewhere between a swing trading and swing trader and a day trader, where I look to hold positions for a couple of hours or as long as needed, right? I look at trades which will give me somewhere between 1.5 and 3R, right? And that might happen in the altcoin market, a couple of hours, a couple of days, or weeks, or how long, whatever is needed, right? And if Bitcoin starts trading here, we might actually see a scenario that we haven't seen in a very long time, and that could be altcoins outperforming Bitcoin. All right. So we might actually see altcoins starting to outperform Bitcoin. And what I'm talking about here is altcoins versus Bitcoin pairs. And that will probably be what everyone's referring to the alt season, right? When Bitcoin has topped, which it potentially could have happened right now, it's could be the fact that it's time for altcoins to run. Now, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that, I'm seeing a lot of, yes, we're going to look at the Ethereum BTC chart versus the BTC dominant chart as well. Very, very good idea. But I'm seeing a lot of people saying like, Bitcoin will top and altcoins will run. When will Bitcoin top and when will altcoins start running? And how do I enter altcoins? Like, we don't know if that's going to happen. All right, guys. So we don't, like, again, that's bullish hopium. That's bullish hopium. People saying that with conviction. You have to kind of read between the lines here and understand that nothing is certain in trading. The only thing in trading that's certain is the uncertainty of trading, and the idea that you have to use risk management because you have no idea if the trade is going to work out or not. That's the only thing that's certain. Like, fear and risk is the only thing that's certain in trading, right? So please understand that nothing is certain. So when Bitcoin tops, we don't know if there's ever going to be an altcoin season, right? We don't know if there's ever going to be an altcoin season, but we have to be ready for that. We have to be ready for that. And one idea of an altcoin season is watching the Ethereum versus BTC chart. And then you can, of course, also look at the BTC dominant chart because it's kind of the same thing. I like watching the BTC dominance chart in a way that, I mean, look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? This is exactly what I'm talking about. So I've had this chart, I've posted it on Twitter a couple of times, and I said, you know, if Ethereum breaks this descending trend line and breaks the horizontal level to the upside, we're probably going to see some altcoins performing quite well. And the BTC dominant chart dropping here, like this drop right here, is most likely because of Ethereum here, because the BTC dominant chart is, a lot of this chart is obviously the Ethereum BTC chart, but in reverse, right? But what you want to see is, you want to see the general trend of the BTC dominance chart. And what you're seeing right here is the general trend. The general trend is bearish on the BTC dominance, which means that the general trend of the crypto investors is moving funds out of Bitcoin into altcoins. That has been the general trend for quite some time. And you can clearly see that when Bitcoin has been in a local bearish market structure, slow bleed, you've seen altcoins kind of perform quite nice, right? And what you're seeing right now is Ethereum, the Ethereum chart versus Bitcoin has not only broke out, it also had a picture perfect break and retest. And if you guys been following me for a while, you know that this is my setup, the break and retest. That's why I always wait for the retest of the breakout area, because it's most likely going to happen that way. So looking at this chart right here, I think we are setting up for a possible altcoin run. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I'm not sure if the best way to trade this would be altcoins versus Bitcoin or altcoins versus USD. I have a feeling that we might be entering that scenario that we haven't been in a very long time, where altcoins are to be traded versus BTC. All right. And guys, I'm no oracle or whatever. Like, don't take my word for it, but please do listen to what I'm saying and do your own research and use my knowledge that I've been accumulating over the years and try to figure out your own system and tactic and strategy for this. Please do not follow me. Please do not follow anyone. Honestly, guys, you don't follow people. Only trade. The only thing you should be doing when you're seeing another trader giving you an idea, you should be using that as a motivation or inspiration, not blindly follow. If I'm saying I'm going to go long on Ethereum BTC here, you should say, you know, thank you for the information. I'm going to be looking at my own chart and doing my own analysis. And, you know, so now let's, we can, yeah, I'm following you, a guy says. Well, you're going to get wrecked. You're going to get wrecked if you follow me, because you don't know when I'm exiting. You don't know my trade management. You don't know my risk management. Like I can wake up in the middle of the night. No, I'm not gonna wake up in the middle of the night, but I might wake up, 6 a.m. in the morning, my time. I see an alert and I'm like, I'm out, right? And you're gonna wake up because you're in another part of the world. You're gonna wake up 4 hours later. And you've seen like, oh shit, he exited, right? And then 4 hours later, you're gonna be down. You're gonna get stopped out. So you have to make your own plan. You have to make your own plan, right? You have to make your own plan because we are completely different people. We're completely individual human beings. We have a very different way of looking at the charts. We have a very different way of responding to our own emotions and our psychology. So you have to make your own plan. So I'm seeing a lot of people saying, they're following me and all that, and why are you on YouTube? If why are you in YouTube if you're not supposed to follow you? I'm not going to respond to that. I just like to wish you good luck, and please don't use high leverage. So let's go through a couple of altcoins. Obviously, Bitcoin. Like Ethereum completely wrecked. This was the setup that I posted yesterday. Obviously, completely wrecked here with the Bitcoin dump, and that's it is what it is. It is what it is. It's a loss, and then there's not a lot of relative strength here. Not a lot of relative strength. Let's see if I have an old. So I have a couple of old Binance BTC. Get a BTC chart here. I haven't watched it because I'm actually not trading on Bitcoin, so I haven't really watched the. I haven't really watched this list right here. So as you can see here on the altcoin versus BTC chart, we are in a clear on most of these coins. I suspect we are in a clear downtrend. And this is why I'm not really interested in trading altcoins versus BTC, because you can kind of see that there's no clear, there's no clarity here. There's no clear levels. It's just very, very messy price action right here on the BTC charts. It's just very hard to find good levels. There's a lot of wicks all over the place. Now AVAX versus Bitcoin is definitely looking interesting, so I'm actually adding that to the green list. You can see here that relative to the last charts that I've looked at, this is some relative strength right here. By the way, guys, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you like this type of stuff, giving you the real stuff, not some bullshit hopium or whatever, just real analysis, So what I'm looking for here is general, like relative strength, right? There's a lot of not a lot of clear setups here as well. So we definitely shift perspective here when it comes. I remember in 2017 and 18 we traded a lot of altcoins versus Bitcoin, but right now it kind of looks like it's not very interesting. So we're not ready for that relationship right now. We need to really see the major high time frame break in market structure. So not really ready for that type of trading, obviously. All right. So you guys want to? No, what I'm. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Like if any questions, just let me know about anything. Just please let me know. Relative strength. What I mean by relative strength is if you have 100 coins, which is in a bearish market structure, then you have one of those coins being in a bullish market structure. That is relative strength. That chart is strong in relationship to the other coins, and that one is the one you want to be focused on. Let's see. This is a good comment. Trading is all about what if. All right. Trading is all about painting different scenarios and then saying, if this happens, then I'm going to do that. And if this happens, I'm going to do this. So it's all about if this, then that. That's what trading is all about, right? So very important to remember that. When I say, if this is going to happen, I'll do this. And if this is, that's because trading, that's just what trading is all about, right? You have to wait for confirmation. You have to wait for price to tell you what's going to happen, right? That's all it is. Yeah, let's take a look at Cardano here. So if you have any short requests or whatever, let me know. Like, we have a lot of viewers right now. So by the way, like, if you haven't hit that like button, please do. We have a lot of viewers, like I said, so it's going to be hard for me to do all questions and all short requests, obviously. But let's take a look at Cardano. Probably should do it on USDT because we have more price data here. So, yeah, okay, so we're obviously hitting a major support area right here. So I'm just going to be, a rough estimate here. So this level right here, obviously pretty massive level right here. Like if Cardano breaks down here, guys, it's going to be pretty bad. Okay, so if this is like the start of the bear market and Cardano breaks down, it's pretty bad. But if we can form a support here, definitely think this would be a good buying opportunity. But we really need to see Bitcoin kind of reclaim. Like, I want to see strength on Bitcoin first, right? So I want to see Bitcoin kind of reclaim the 20 EMA and then start entering altcoins, right? And Cardano might be one of those coins that I'm ready to hold during the duration of the bull market if we are going to continue here. But at this point right now, in a very indecisive area, not indecisive, but a very important area. It's like we're right on the edge of the bear market. We're right on the edge of the bear market. We're not in the bear market, but we're right on the edge, right? So wait for some confirmation right here. Yeah, and this is actually probably one of the best advice that you're going to be given today. Honestly, I think now is not the time to try to catch a bottom, and now is not the time to, like, maybe you should panic if you sold your house and invested in Bitcoin and kind of sold everything in on high leverage. But if you're not in that scenario, if you're waiting for a setup, if you're trying to catch the bottom here, it would be probably better to take the weekend off, wait for Monday to come along, and wait for the traditional markets to open to see what direction Bitcoin will, like, what's Bitcoin going to do. This is a market environment that is driven by a lot of emotions right here, and you don't want to get caught up in that, right? So I'm at this point right here, I'm completely calm because I've been in this scenario a lot of times and I know how to handle this. And the best way to handle this, when I'm done with this stream, I'm not going to be looking at my phone, I'm not going to be looking at my computer, I'm going to be spending time with my family and not thinking about trading, because I know that there's going to be such a shit storm out there. It's going to be like people are going to ready to kill each other out there on Twitter. Like, it's better to just take a step back and relax and wait for the market to tell you what to do instead of just running around like crazy and thinking about what's going to happen. Wait for it to happen and wait for the market to tell you what you want to do. Do you think the alt season is still on or prolonged for later? I don't try to predict. I have no idea, but I will trade altcoin season if there's signs of it. If there's signs, right? So if altcoins are going to start putting in 4-hour or daily bullish market structure while Bitcoin ranging and the Ethereum BTC shot looks bullish, then yes, I will be trading altcoins like if it were the altcoin season. Because remember, altcoin season is not going to be clear until it's like halfway already done. Right, so we got Solana. Now this is actually looking pretty strong, right? So you obviously have a high time frame, a high time frame bullish market structure right here, and it's actually looking pretty strong, right? So for real strength to come in here, we need to. I'd like to see a reclaim of this level right here. So the upper part of that region would be 210. If we can reclaim 210, and honestly, I think it would be just better to say, look for a reclaim of the daily 20 EMA. So a reclaim of the daily 20 EMA on Solana would kind of show you a lot of strength, and that would probably be the continuation of this this major bull market. So yeah, reclaim of daily 20 EMA on Solana, and we are probably going to trade that one. No, sell. I sold like 20% ago. You probably shouldn't be selling here. All right, guys, it's pretty stupid to sell the bottom if this is the bottom. So please, please don't sell. Don't panic sell. Right? Wait for some structure to form. See, we've got Luna. Yeah, look at this. This is absolutely fantastic retest on Luna right here. This looks very, very nice. So what Luna actually did here was we dumped straight down to major support level, and we actually bounced off the daily 20 EMA. So this actually looks really, really good. This is one of the strongest coins right now in the market, and I definitely think you should have your eyes on this one. And it's not only testing the daily 20 EMA, it came down and almost perfectly touched that 0.618 Fibonacci level right here, and this just looks phenomenal. So if Bitcoin will bottom out here, and Luna will start forming some bullish market structure right here, I definitely think that a move up into the 90 area for Luna is very probable in my opinion. And the setup in this case, what is this? This is not how I think price will go. Like this, right? So the setup on Luna would probably be something like this. You see the 4-hour stochastic RSI down in the oversold territory. I would like to see a 4-hour stochastics bull cross with perhaps a 4-hour bullish engulfing in this area right here. Now this is obviously quite a risky setup right here, but definitely a good risk to reward right here. So maybe you say you enter somewhere here with a fairly wide stop loss. I would definitely have a fairly wide stop loss on this one and play this on spot, no leverage, right? So let's say a 10 to 15% stop loss, preferably below this wick right here. Of course, we could also see something like this, right, where you come down lower and then form a 4-hour bullish engulfing here with a stochastic bull cross below 30, and that will also give you much better risk to reward. So let's say you wait for that round the bottom down around the 50% fib at around $55. This would then be the setup, and you're looking for a move like this where you want to take profit here, second take profit at the -236, and then the honestly I would probably exit 50% here, and then 20% up here, 25% up here. So your average exit on this one, your average R on this one would be around 5, slightly above 5, which is very good, right? Which is very good. So on average, almost a 50% move. So this is what I'm watching on Luna, and this is what you probably should be watching on Luna as well, as a quick trade. Not a quick trade. This is more like a swing trade. You should play this on spot, no leverage. And yeah, this will probably play out quite nicely if Bitcoin forms a bottom here, right? But we don't know. We don't know. So it's very, very risky, obviously. I'm going to be posting this in my individual channel in the Burb Nest. All right, what else? Oh man, there's so many comments on here. No. Litecoin. Yes, let's look at Litecoin. So guys, I'm running out of time. We're almost at 1 hour. So before we go, take a look at a couple of more altcoins. I would like to, thank you all for joining today. And if you have any more questions specifically about trading, maybe not short requests because it takes a while. And so Litecoin really needs to, because what happened here on Litecoin was we really failed to hold the reload zone right here. We had a very nice bounce on the inside the reload zone right here, but then again we had the same market structure as Bitcoin, a daily bearish market structure. We failed to reclaim the daily 20 EMA and 50 EMA, and obviously same development on Litecoin as Bitcoin here as always, right? But what I would like to see on Bitcoin is honestly, this looks terrible. So we really need to start reclaiming some levels. I'm gonna put some alerts up here, right, and then below here. I'm not gonna be interested in Litecoin until we hit those alerts. It's just if this could be a very good buying opportunity, but I really need to see some strength. So the way I'm trading is I'm a trend trader. I'm not gonna try to catch the bottom or catch the top. I want to be somewhere in between. I want to get in when there's a clear trend, and we just can't see that right now. Let's see what else. Matic. So we got a lot of people. All right. So some Matic. Let's see if we can give you guys some hope. Yeah, definitely think this looks good. And I'm not saying this because because of some hopium or whatever. This actually looks pretty good. All right, we're definitely in a uptrend. So lose 1.5 and I would be out, right? But at this point, definitely think this looks pretty decent, right? Definitely. I mean, I like this. Trend is definitely alive here. And we're in an uptrend. Daily market structure looks bullish. Overall looks fairly bullish. We have a major support area in this area right here. And we obviously bounce quite nicely in that area right now. So yeah, Matic looks good. If you're holding Matic, you should probably continue to hold Matic. See what else. Why do you trade mainly in perpetual then in spot? Because that I only trade futures, right? So what I do is when the overall crypto market is bullish and not like it is right now, when it's clearly bullish and when there's a clear daily uptrend, and we've after a dump like this, if we kind of reclaim the weekly 20 EMA, then I will move into my medium term hold and my spot holdings for a move up to 100k, right? But in the meantime, I'm only trading the perpetual futures on FTX as a short-term trader because a couple of different reasons. One of the reasons being risk management and capital protection. I can have a much smaller capital on the exchange, and with the use of high leverage, I don't need to use as much money to actually trade. So I can risk the same amount, but with risking much less money on the exchange. So for me, it makes more sense having more money, safe storage and less money on the exchange, and then move that safe storage into the exchange when crypto is more bullish, right? All right, man. So you've been asking me if you should go long and five times leverage on Bitcoin, and now you're asking if you should short Bitcoin, 2x short on Bitcoin. What I think you should do is honestly take the weekend off. Don't look at charts. Don't turn off your phone. Turn off your PC. Just go out and enjoy your life and do something else instead of trading. Honestly, I deeply think you should do that. And this has nothing to do with any saltiness or whatever. I deeply recommend you do that, because this is revenge trading. You're gonna lose a lot of more money, and it's gonna be terrible. You're gonna regret taking a trade on Bitcoin most likely. Right. Someone's spamming the chat here, so please don't do that. And I'm not gonna take your short request if you spam the chat. All right. One more question. Well, two more questions. Yes, I'm Libs 42. I'm Libs 42. That's why it says, it doesn't say Libs 42 on this screen. I gotta have it like that for me to know. Now it says Libs. No, it doesn't. Weird. Anyway, yes, it's me. Any tips on finding range? You think that it may go sideways at some point before the pump? Yeah. I mean, it's very simple. Equal highs and equal lows. If price goes sideways, I mean, it's very simple. It's very simple. And uptrend is higher highs and higher lows. And then a range is equal highs and equal lows. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's you know that's the range. So you look for equal lows and equal highs. It's that simple, really. Maybe that might be a good idea. So what else? Okay, one more question before we go. One. All right, so this is the last one. I'm not sure if you're serious, but maybe you are, and I think there's a real possibility that you are serious here. So what you need to do in this case is, and I'm sorry for you. You know, it's really losing a lot of money and losing everything like this is just a horrible feeling. So like, I don't know if it's a lot of money, but I've been in a scenario where I've lost a lot of money, right? I've been in a scenario where, you know, I lost a lot of money, and it's depressing. It's really hard. It's I know, you know, not a lot of people get like suicidal because of stuff like that, because it's really going to affect you a lot, because, you know, money is money and money is everything. You know, if you don't have financial stability, you're going to have a hard time living a happy life, right? So losing a lot of money, and especially if this is true, you lost everything, there's a couple of things you need to do, and I'm not saying you should do. There's a couple of things you need to do, right? So first of all, you need to understand that revenge trading will just create a deeper hole, and the more money you lose, the more depressed and it's just going to be a much more horrible situation, right? So what you have to do is you need to give it time. So you need to, you know, really forbid yourself from trading until you come to terms with the loss. So do not take any more trades to try to make back the money, because you're not going to make back that money. The money is gone. You're never going to make that back, right? You have to accept that the money is gone. You're never going to make that back. All right, so let me repeat that. The money that you've lost is gone, and you've lost that as a learning experience. It's like buying a trading course. It's like buying a very expensive trading course. You just bought the most expensive trading course in your life, and you've learned something very valuable here if you can understand what you did wrong. So take a couple of days. I would say take a week off, and just do not look at any charts, do not do any trading. Just take a week off and do something else. Enjoy life, do whatever you think is nice doing, and do not look at any charts for 7 days minimum, right? And then you come back and you look at what happened, what actually happened here, what type of mistakes did he do, and that's where the value of this trading lesson is, the trading lesson that you bought with everything you had, right? So you lost everything, and that was a very expensive lesson. But if you can learn something from this lesson, you can learn how not to repeat the same mistake again. So I think that the mistake you did was going all in on something because you believed that there was a lot of upside potential, and you were blind to downside potential, and you didn't manage risk. So what you have to do next time is, when you enter a position and you're only looking to the upside, you have to figure out a way to de-risk when it breaks down. If your idea is invalidated, you have to understand, like, why is it invalidated, where is it invalidated, and where do I need to exit to save my capital, right? To save my capital. So you need to make a plan for that. If you don't have a plan for downside potential, and you're not going to enter, right? So very, very simple. If you can't plan for how not to lose money, you should never risk money to win money, because trading is all about losing small amount of money a lot and then winning big just a couple of times a year. You know what I mean? Like, most professional traders I know have a win rate of actually lower than 50%, which means they lose more than they win, but the winners are bigger than the losers. So in the end, they're going to make money. And a lot of traders who trade full time, they have a couple of trades every year that kind of make the whole year. So it's all about making a plan for what to do when your trade is invalidated. So please go into this experience, try to relive the experience, and more importantly, try to relive and reimagine the thoughts you had when you entered. Were you euphoric? Were you really happy because you saw the numbers that you were going to make? Were you happy and euphoric that you were going to buy a new car with the profits? Remember that when you think like that next time, you got to be careful. You got to understand what type of emotions trigger that behavior. And when you understand that euphoric and positive emotion, that bullish hoping everyone's bullish, that type of scenario is probably when you should be very scared, right, of entering. On the flip side, if you're finding a setup that you don't really believe in because nobody else believes in it, and the whole sentiment is very bearish, but you believe in it because it is according to your rules, when that is a setup you might want to be taking, right? So you have to really understand yourself emotionally, right? But more importantly, take a break, do not revenge trade, and please learn from this mistake. And if you can't learn from this mistake, if you're making the same mistake again, then you have to find something else to do. You're not supposed to be a trader. You're not supposed to be an investor. You're not supposed to have money in the markets. Find another profession and do something else, another hobby. You're not supposed to be in this game, right? Because there's a reason why 95% of everyone who tries this will fail and lose everything within a year. That is true statistics. More than 95% of people who try to become traders will fail. All right? So you're not special. This is the hardest thing you're ever going to try to master in your life. So please take it seriously. And if you're losing a lot of money, please rethink if this is actually something you want to be doing. All right, guys, with that said, and I think this applies to everyone. I think this really does apply to everyone, because I do deeply care about every single one of you. I'm getting, I'm getting DMs and I'm on Twitter, getting DMs on Discord, and you guys are just absolutely fantastic, right? You're giving me a lot of love, and it really shows that I'm helping a lot of you people. And I really do love the idea of coming down here into my office, doing this full time, and helping people actually make the most out of this market. But why, like the one of the main reason why I think that what I'm giving you is helpful is because I'm giving you the raw stuff, the real truth about trading. And the real truth about trading is that this is not for everyone. This is not for everyone. So if I'm able to save somebody from losing money by telling them that you're not supposed to be trading, that is a win for me, right? That is a win for me. Not everyone is meant to do this, all right? Not everyone is meant to do this. So please, understand that you got to take this as seriously as you're taking anything, important in your life. This is probably one of the most serious, endeavors you're going to try in your whole life. So please take it seriously. Understand that if you risk a lot of money, you're going to lose a lot of money. It's not about risking a lot of money to win a lot of money. It's about risking small, and then statistically, you're going to have a big winner, and that's how you win a lot of money. You don't risk a lot of money to win a lot of money. You play the markets like you play a casino. This is a numbers game. You're going to have a big winner. The question is when. And you're going to make sure that you have enough money for when that happens. You're going to make sure that you risk small, so when the big winner comes along, you make a lot of money. It's not the other way around. I'm going to be risking big, and then all of a sudden I don't have any money, because and then the next trade that you would have taken after losing all the money, that would have been the big winner. All right, guys, that's it. See you all in the next one. And if you really want to learn, and if you really want to take this seriously, we do have the Burpee trading community, where we try to really help you guys as much as possible to become traders. But I'm not gonna. I think it's just a weird time to be shilling the community at this point, because obviously you're losing money. But if you need help, you know where we are. All right, guys, take care, and see you guys in the next one.